Nathan Lafayette coming from the St. Louis Blues.
Nathan was born in New Westminster. Sergio Momesso on the left-hand side of that car. What a great season he had for the Vancouver Canucks, especially in the playoffs. He really turned it on.
And Brian Glynn sitting next to Sergio, and again, an incredible series. Well, there's a familiar pairing. I gather that's Gino Osick from the back of his head.
That is Gino, and the man next to him is his roommate on the road.
Young guy. A guy named Pavel Bure. You may have heard of him. Nathan Lafayette and Yuri Slager you see again. Steve, this place is, as they've been saying all season long, white hot. To look at the fans and to see the looks in their faces today is such a vindication for the anguished, angry looks we saw on Robson Street the other night. This is what Vancouver is all about. This is what the Canucks season has been all about.
And since the first car came into BC Place Stadium, the fans have not stopped. It is a din.
You know, there was so much excitement over 4 weeks of playoffs. There's Tim Hunter, a little worse for the wear. That trademark nose a little bit more bruised than it was before. I was saying that people did not have really an outlet for all of the intensity and the enthusiasm they had, and some people would explain that that's part of what Tuesday night was all about. This is a real venting day, an outlet of extraordinary emotion.
There's Cliff Ronning and Greg Adams.
With Barry McDonald.
It does, yeah, it's great. Gave it our best and came up short. Enjoy it.
Barry McDonald saying hi to Cliff Ronning, and Cliff Ronning, a hometown boy in Burnaby. What a hometown welcome.
There's Adrian Plavsic and Dana Merzen. Adrian on the right, Dana Merzen on the left. Merzen was injured against the Calgary Flames, didn't play after that. And Plavsic didn't play that much at all. And there he is, Pavel Bure. And seated next to him, Jeff Courtnall. What a great playoff season Courtnall had. And of course, will we ever forget the overtime goal that Pavel Bure scored against the Calgary Flames?
And there we have the assistant coaching staff of the Vancouver Canucks, as you can see.
Gentleman on your right is Glenn Hanlon. That's Stan Steamer Smeal in the middle. And Ron Smith, the former head coach of the New York Rangers. He was also the assistant coach with the Canucks way back in 1982.
Now this would ring a bell for Stan Smeal.
It certainly would. He's been through it. I don't think the fans were as noisy as this in 82.
Here's the noise when you're outside. What was it like? The anticipation coming in here.
It's exciting. Most people have ever been in front of, so it's a big thrill for me, obviously.
What will it be like in 95? You won't be able to get a seat in here.
Let's hope, yeah.
Congratulations, Trevor.
Captain Trevor Linden. You know, I'm wondering, Steve, Trevor Linden was beat up pretty bad in that series, but do you think he feels any of those bruises right now?
Absolutely not. He is feeling nothing but joy. He's having a ball. This is what it's all about. This is what you work so hard for. This is what you strive to achieve, is this kind of recognition and appreciation from the fans, those people here in BC Place Stadium. There's Trevor Linden and the gentleman next to him, Kirk McLean. You don't get to see him much without the mask
or the beard. Number one, Kirk McLean, and was there any question that if the Canucks had won the Cup that Trevor McLean would have been bringing the Conn Smythe trophy home?
He certainly got my votes had the Canucks won. 24 years of age, Kirk, make that Trevor Linden. He's been the captain for 4 years. He is the current NHL Ironman, over 360-some-odd games under his belt, having not missed a single one.
An interesting matchup between Trevor Linden and Mark Messier. You had sort of two generations of hockey players facing off against each other. Trevor Linden, needless to say, is the backbone for a team that shows great, legitimate promise for the future. These fans have been up on their feet since the Canucks came in. There's going to be an awful lot of hoarse voices leaving the Dome this afternoon.
Including mine. But this is fun. This really is fun. This takes away some of the bitterness, the anger, the frustration that we all felt the other night in downtown Vancouver.
One's got to wonder what's going through these players' minds. The images that they're seeing today are going to be indelibly registered, I think, on their consciousness for a long, long time. And look at that smile.
Let's hear it for Yuki Ume and Joe Sturman.
Jeff Brown heading up on stage, and boy, didn't he have an exciting time. A new dad and playing the Stanley Cup at the same time. Tim Hunter.
And Sean Antosky is next to him, the two tough guys of the Vancouver Canucks.
Antosky ever shine through in those playoffs, too. A lot of people were surprised that such a young guy could be so aggressive and look so experienced.
Tim Hunter, of course, won a Stanley Cup with the Calgary Flames back in '89. This was Antosky's first playoff experience. There's Jimmy Carson. Picked up from the LA Kings. Got a feeling that he may not be back with the Canucks next season. Did not play during the playoffs. And there's the Russian Rocket and Jeff Courtney. Cliff running and Greg Adams,
they're
a couple of
having a
BC
time.
boys. Greg Adams from Nelson, BC. Cliff Ronning, of course, born in Vancouver, lives in Burnaby, played for the New Westminster Bruins. If anybody bleeds Canuck colors, that guy does.
We haven't got a final tally of the crowd yet, but just before this began, we understand about 42,000 tickets have been sold. Each ticket costs $1 that goes to the Canuck place.
Gerald Diddick and Brett Hedican getting out of their car.
And I wonder if that little guy is going to remember much of this.
I doubt it, but his dad will have a lot of fun telling him in the years to come. What a memorable day. June 16th, 1994. There's the steamer. Glenn Hanlon, Ron Smith.
And recognition for a trio that doesn't often get recognized in the shadow of Pat Quinn, but of course they've done a tremendous job this year.
Steamer, of course, the captain of the team in '82.
I wonder which one means more to him, Steve.
Well, I've got to think that's probably '82 as a player, but he'll never forget this run.
And a triumphant entrance for Kirk McLean. Look at that smile.
I'm going to tell you, he doesn't smile much. He is so focused and so caught up in what he tries to do for Vancouver, and that's stop pucks. And look at this grin on Trevor Linden's face.
They're smiling all over BC right now.
I will never forget the game that Kirk McLean had against the New York Rangers in Game 1. Tested 54 times. Remember that? I mean, he just stood on his ear, stopped everything but the New York kitchen sink.
And New Yorkers were asking, is this guy human?
Would you welcome George McPhee, Director of Hockey Operations. George McPhee.
They're introducing now some of the folks that are behind the scenes, but again are instrumental in putting together a package that the Vancouver Canucks were this year, including George McPhee, the Director of Hockey Operations, Mike Penny, the Director of Player Development Scouting.
All of these people, of course, very key to the success of the organization. Without the scouting and without the people handling the